What's up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. Look, I don't plan to be long because your big brother got a show tonight, so I got to be get in the mode. But we're gonna get into this real quick, man. Because as y'all see by the title, um, Will Smith has been banned from the Oscars for what they are reporting as a 10-year period. 10 years, a whole decade. They are saying now, Will, you cannot come to our little event for 10 years. You're no longer allowed to come and be among us for 10 years. This is your punishment. Now, I'm not going to go into the incident and all that because, well, I guess the only thing I will say about the incident that led to this ban for 10 years is that, look, whether it's real, whether it's fake, whether Will was right, whether Will was wrong, however we dress it, however many angles we come at it, for Black people and for people who really seek the unity of Black people, of us on a whole, this is never something we want to see happen on any level. So that's all I'm going to say about that. We want peaceful resolutions to these situations, and we don't want to see us going at us in those matters. That being said, as it relates to the banning from the Oscars, and do your big brother a favor as y'all come in, hit that like button for your big brother. Be sure to do that for me. Hit the like button, man. It's real simple, y'all. Just hit that like as you walk in the door. And but when I read that Will had been banned for 10 years from the Oscars, and look, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all, because I rarely don't do it like this, but I didn't even read the article. I just saw the headlines in different places. I haven't went into the article just yet. But in this particular case, I don't have to read the article simply because the headline puts me in the mind frame that I want to be in to do this particular live stream. And that mind frame just speaks to the fact that, okay, Will Smith got banned from the Oscars. So what? So what? Who cares? Now, I know that as an actor who's been in Hollywood and you take your craft seriously and you immerse yourselves into the roles, into the characters that you play, you put the time in, you put the work in. These movies come out, they gross millions and millions of dollars, hundreds of millions in some cases. People are touched and moved. Some of the movies are iconic movies. I understand putting in that kind of work. I don't want you to think that I'm not understanding this thing from all angles. To put in that kind of work and that kind of effort to just be that character, that is something that any artist takes pride in. Their craft. That's your craft. So you are mastering your craft. You're trying to become the best you can be at that craft and portray a role on that screen that makes people look at you and say, wow. Some movies make people cry when they see them, even if it's fictional. Some movies bring out anger. Some movies are so deep, they make you think. They change the way people think. All of these different things can be, these emotions can be evoked just from watching a film. I get all that. But as it relates to those in this academy, that's why it's the Academy Awards, because there's an academy, there's a network, there's a group of individuals who run this particular academy, and they decide who wins and who loses, and they lay out the rules and the regulations and the stipulations that are required for you as an actor to be a part of this prestigious group. Hollywood. Hollywood, one of the most evil, sickest, weirdest, nastiest, perverted places on all the planet. The individuals who run Hollywood, some of the sickest, weirdest, nastiest, perverted, conniving, money hungry, scandalous, any other adjective you can think of that fits. These are the people who run Hollywood. These are not righteous, good-hearted, fair-minded, balanced people. These are people who bring people in and put them on the casting couch. These are people who sexually assault and molest women and men in order to give them roles in movies. In order to launch their careers, you got to do certain things. These are the people who have these parties and these orgies and these anything goes types of behind the scenes scenarios, the Harvey Weinsteins of the world. The people who control the industry, and in having that control, they use that control to get their rocks off and get all of their little fantasies off at the expense of, again, men and women, black, white, Latino, and otherwise. Whoever they feeling, that's who they feeling. These are the people who run this academy, this prestigious organization that Will Smith was awarded this award from. See? So now, after this incident, they come out and they say, okay, well, you know, as a punishment to you, you were banned from the Academy Awards for 10 years. Well, look, I can make the argument that he was banned anyway, because if we want to play the game in terms of the Academy Awards and what he deserved, I can think of 3 or 4 movies off the top of my head that I feel he deserved to win an Academy Award for years ago. So he's been banned. This is his first one. This is the first one that he's ever won. But I saw Will Smith in The Pursuit of Happiness, which might be my favorite movie that he ever made. I saw him in The Pursuit of Happiness, and to me, the way he played that role, he should have won for that. See? He could have won for Ali just for the transformation that he underwent in becoming as close of a emulation of Muhammad Ali as he could get. He could have won for that. So this King Richard movie ain't the first movie that Will Smith's ever done where you could argue that he should have deserved the Academy Award. So in my opinion, he's been banned. See, look how long it took for Denzel to win it. Look how long it took for Samuel Jackson to finally win it. See, this is a joke, man. So when black people were putting out the word to boycott the Oscars a few years back, which kind of ties into the history between Chris Rock and Jada and Will and all that in the first place and all that, when they were putting out that cry to boycott, they should have done it. But the problem is, and the reason why I say they should have did it is because power conceives nothing without a demand. These were the words of Frederick Douglass. He said that power conceives nothing without a demand. Now, what that means is, as long as an entity is in power and it doesn't matter how oppressive that entity is, right? As long as they're in power and nobody stands up against them to change that, whatever that status quo is within that entity, they're not going to ever give you nothing. So if there's a system where black people were being bit by dogs and water hoses sprayed on them and discriminated against and all the different things we could think back, going back to the civil rights movement. If black people never stood up, never protested, never marched, never whatever it is, everything that black people did, then none of the rights that were given to black people that many of us enjoy today, we would still be in the same condition. But the demand caused the power to have to give up a little of the power. So they should have boycotted. And not just boycott, just get all the way out. But the problem is, we have always had this mindset that we feel like whatever they have is better than what we can make and create for ourselves or what we have. Yeah, I got a Soul Train award, but it ain't a Grammy. Yeah, I got an Image award, an Essence award, but it ain't this award or that. It's not something that's comparable in our minds to what they have, what they give. The Oscars has always been a racist organization. Hollywood is a racist entity. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. We can go back to the early days of Hollywood when the only roles that black people could play, you was either a maid, a butler, or you were some kind of like a dumb like guy. You got to be yes, boss. Ooh, yeah, I'm sorry, boss. And you got to be that kind of person to even be in the movie, because that is the image that they always wanted to portray of against black people. So after so many years, I want to be a part. 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 They never wanted you to be a part of it. Want to keep their stuff to themselves. That's why this whole argument with the NFL and the black coaches, man, we wasting our time because we trying to force them. Give us a job. Include us. Include us. We're trying to force inclusion in a place that they don't want to include us in. Then we want to, well, we're going to sue. We're going to sue. Okay, fine. Do what you got to do. Sue. But you sue for the money. Get the money, because you're not going to change the mindset. So for them to say we're going to ban Will Smith from the Oscars, it's hypocrisy. But on the same token, they got the right to do whatever they want to do because they own it. But at the end of the day, we have to always go back to the question, what stops us from building our own? We got independent filmmakers. What makes us feel like we have the only thing that validates our success, validates us, validates our artistry, it validates our work and our time that we put in. The only thing that validates that is to receive an award from them. Why do we think like that? See? And you might say, well, who's to say we think like that? I'll tell you why I know we think like that. Because all you have to do is look at the difference between how a black artist reacts when they win an award from one of our own entities compared to how they act when they win an Academy Award or a Grammy or something like that. It's a total different reaction. When we win and I'm hesitant to even mention some of the so-called black award shows, because even those on some levels are controlled by white folks, right? But just in name alone, it's okay. Well, Soul Train Award. We win that Soul Train Award. We're like, oh, thank you. Well, thank God. Appreciate the love, man. You know, my producer, I see you out there, boy. We did it, man. But boy, when you win that Oscar, when they win that Oscar, boy, they crying and shaking, can't control themselves, and God, I mean, it's a whole different level of emotion. Why? Am I tripping? If I'm tripping, somebody tell me I'm tripping if I'm in the chat. It's a whole different level of emotion because we have been so conditioned to believe that they fire is hotter and they ice is colder. See? I don't understand that. So, again, I'm not going into the incident itself. I'm not going to deal with who was right, who was wrong, because that incident itself, that whole slap, has divided Black people, not even down the middle. It's cut up Black people in sections. Because you got people who stand with Will. Well, man, he disrespected that man's wife. That man stood up as a man and defended his wife. Then you got people that say, well, man, you know, it's just a joke. People are too sensitive. Comedians are just cracking jokes. And he had no right to go up there and physically assault that man. And you got that. You got people say, oh, man, she's manipulating him. And he laughed at first. And then he looked over and saw her. And then he went on. You got that. You got people say, oh, man, the whole thing is staged. It's fake. Wasn't even real. Chris Rock leaned in and let him slap him. You got that. So Black people are arguing and divided behind this topic. So it's created yet another distracting, unnecessary conflict within the Black community when we got far bigger fish to fry. You got a skillet this big. Your skillet is this big and got a little bitty guppy fish, a goldfish inside a giant skillet, and you over there just concentrating. You putting seasoning and all kind of stuff, and you flipping them over. You got a spatula flipping over a little guppy fish. But on the next burner, we got a big old piece of salmon over there. You ain't worried about that. Worry about the wrong thing. But at the end of the day, I can't speak for another man, but I can speak my opinion. I don't believe that we should care that much about their awards, because a lot of that stuff been rigged up from the beginning anyway. They already know who they're gonna win. They already know who they want to win, and they already have who they're gonna, what actors and actresses they're gonna exalt and make them the. And we get mad when they don't include us. So no, you can't be my coach of my NFL team, because we have a good old boys group of owners that we stick together, and we don't want no Black coaches. Well, I'm mad. So what? No Black people are winning Oscar awards. Y'all won't. This guy played this role fantastically. He should have won it. Okay, we're gonna give it to him. What you gonna do? Well, the Oscars are racist. What else is new? What else is new? Stop trying to tie your worth in to how Hollywood, how the music industry, how they view you. Focus on how the people view you. Focus on how the so-called little man views you. The everyday the person who got up and went and spent the money to go to the movie theater to watch your movie. The fan who loved you and oh man, I just want to get your autograph. Focus on that. Focus on the people who stood by you when you was going through your tough trials. Because guess what? When you go through a situation, just like what Will is experiencing right now, when you go through certain situations in Hollywood, when you go through certain situations in the music industry, you stand up for certain causes. You speak out against certain injustices, and or you have a slip where you make a mistake. Who is the first people to abandon you and throw you under the bus? It's your employer. It's the person who pays you, because now they have to distance themselves from you in order to not jeopardize their sponsorships and things of that nature. So they're going to make a statement, or we have officially broken ties and terminated our deal with such and such. We do not in any way stand by the comments he made or she made. They first ones to get rid of you. And depending on what it is, you know, if it's not something that you just tripped out and just went, well, we can't stand with you on that one, bro. If it's not something like that, it's the people that stick with you, that defend you. It's the people that's fighting for you on social media. It's going to be some sellouts in there that still talk down about, well, yeah, see. But for the most part, it's the people that ride for you. When you're in court, it's the people that's outside the courtroom in big numbers. And when they say not guilty, black people cheering and yeah, I knew it, my boy, you know, regardless. It's kind of like when you a young dude and you a crash dummy and you run in the streets with dudes that got you doing all kind of illegal activity, and you know, these my boys, man, this my crew, and then you get locked up and go to jail, and them fools ain't nowhere to be found after that, and the only person sending you money, writing you letters, and visiting you is your mama. That's how the black community is. We like the mother. When you fall, we still holding you down. So that's who your attention should be on. That's who you should be equating your worth and your value as connected to your brothers and sisters in your community, because we gonna hold you down when your employer cuts you loose. Because they don't care about you. They care about what you can generate for them. And if something that you say or do puts a black eye on their business interests, they're taking their hands off you. See? So what? Who cares if they took the Oscar away? I just told you that was a billion roles. He could have been one of them. In my eyes, they've been banned him. See, this is my thing. And y'all can disagree with me if you want. It is what it is. We're entitled to our own opinions. See, I believe that any black people who ever wanted, I believe they just threw a bone to him anyway. And notice how once the backlash came a few years ago, now you're starting to see a few more black people winning a little more regular now, because they got to throw that bone. Oh, man. Look, man, just let's shut these niggers up. Let's just let 2 or 3 of them win this year. I'm telling you, man. Y'all ain't got to believe me, but y'all be naive, bro. Y'all think these cats love y'all, man. Y'all think these cats love y'all. They don't love you at all. And they show it. So he's banned for 10 years. My hope is that he does not issue a statement trying to say, well, it's unfortunate, and I want to apologize to the Academy. And I think he may already did that. I'm not sure, though. But my point is, okay, they banned you, so okay, move on. So what? I wouldn't say nothing. I wouldn't say a word. Who cares, man? Now, We all know that all black entertainers who are rich and wealthy don't think this way, what I'm about to say. I get that before we even say it. But I gotta say it anyway. There's enough black entertainers and athletes, music industry artists, to financially pool their resources to separate from those industries that are controlled by those individuals and build up our own industries, whether it be sports or entertainment. That's a fact. It can be done. Now, again, we know that all black people don't think like that. All black people, why would we want to do that? That's divisive. No. They've shown you the divisiveness, but we steady naive and like, well, if he didn't win it, then I guess the person that won it deserved to win it. That could very well be possible, but there's too many instances where it's just not the case. They got screwed. See? So why not at some point say, man, why don't we just do our own thing? That's why I love independent filmmakers. That's why I love independent rap artists. Just anything that has the word independent in front of it, anything that represents an individual or a group of individuals deciding that they're going to go against the grain and do this themselves, even if it means putting out the money themselves, taking the risk themselves, taking the chances, and not selling out to the first piece of money that gets thrown your way in order to pull you back in to the plantation, right? Because that's what it is. They'll see, man, this person here has the ability to grow this thing and build this thing up to where we may lose a lot of our other Negroes. That's what it's about. When that one comes along with the knowledge and the wisdom and the understanding and the power and the influence, they're going to try to reel him or her back in because they know that he or she has the ability to pull the rest out. We can free the rest of the slaves. See? If they'd have snuffed Harriet Tubman out early in the game, could have saved them a whole lot of trouble because she had the ability to free more. So they always want to chop off the head. But when you find one of those heads who's not willing to sell out just like that, then that becomes the problem. Now they try to use other methods to shut them down. Slander and lie, oh, this person, he's a troublemaker. He's this, he's that, she's that. Because they don't want that influence to pull the rest of their Negroes out of the plantation, out the fields. Now, some of us had this mentality like, it ain't nothing wrong with what we doing. I've made $80 million in Hollywood. That's them saying that. I ain't made a dime in Hollywood. I've made $100 million in Hollywood. I live in a big mansion. My family is set. Yeah, that's true. Your family may be set, but again, a lot of times you don't understand that you were one incident away from losing all of that. And there's no protection for you, especially when you have dove so deep under the covers with that industry that when you get too far, you too far in the water, we can't reach you no more. We can't pull you in no more. Talking about the black community, we can't pull you too far out there on the boat with them. You're on the yacht. You're on the yacht with Epstein and Weinstein and David Geffen. You're on the yacht. We can't get out there. So when you fall, it's over. And if you have made the mistake of throwing black people under the bus the whole time you was on your rise, because that was part of the requirements of your rise, then now you don't have them and you don't have us. See? Hit the like button for your big brother, man. hit that like button. If y'all ain't hit the like button, hit it for me right now. I ain't gonna be on here long, so whatever y'all want to get in, get it on in. Let me see what y'all talking about. Whatever you gonna get in, get it in. LW says it's sad the optics of an Oscar or Grammy is more worthy than a BET award. You know, yeah. I mean, and like I say, and that's just from the face value of what a BET award and an NAACP award is supposed to represent. Because trust me, those entities are controlled by white people too. Let's get that understood. But yeah, for what it's supposed to represent, it's like, okay, this is it, this is it, this is us, you know, and this is us honoring us. So really what the principle of it is that there's a mindset that says that the honoring that comes from them has more value than the honoring that comes from our own. That's really what it brought, regardless of what the name of the award ceremony is. That's really the mindset. J.R. Hendry said, when I saw Chris Rock comedy show Slap a Rampage, I was convinced that Oscar incident was fake. A lot of people believe it was fake. And I'm not an EIF, but there's some elements to it just from a visual standpoint that don't sit right with me. The structure of it, the construction of it don't sit right with me. I'm not an EIF, man. And I ain't gonna get off the subject for long, but when a man is walking towards you and you kind of put your hands behind your back and then you kind of lean in, let me shut up. Is that 4W1072 epitome of not handling in-house problems? Yeah, we gotta take care of home. I think that taking care of home, taking care of things in-house gives us an appreciation for in-house. Steven Skiba says, go independent and the government tools will destroy you. They'll seek to destroy you, possibly. They'll seek to destroy you. They'll set out to destroy you, possibly. But that should not be something that hinders us or prevents us from going independent, for going for self, for doing for self. Of course, they'll seek to destroy you. In some cases, they will destroy you. What you think happened during Black Wall Street? Some black folks said, okay, y'all don't want us around y'all. We'll start our own. We will separate, move away from y'all, start our own stuff. And they was like, oh. But because not only do we not want you to be around us, we hate y'all. We don't want to be around y'all. Even when you burn out and start something on your own, we don't even want you to have that. We don't even want you to exist. So let's destroy that, even though it has no effect on us. See? Why do we put so much emphasis on their awards? Why do the tears flow so hard when you get that Oscar? We got to guide our people because we dying out here. Yeah, we all need guidance. Modern day Babylon. I'm reading y'all comments now. In my opinion, I think they're going to reprogram him when he go to rehab. When who go to rehab? Yeah, banned from the Oscars. Big deal. So what? I mean, look, I would give them that Oscar back. I'd give it back. Look, if you ban me you might as well take the Oscar back. Think about it. So you're going to ban me for 10 years, but I get to keep the trophy, and I don't even want the trophy. Now, again, because it's a slippery slope, because I know what some people might say, well, man, what about the fact of what he did, man? He got up there and he disrespect. And he was like, man, he made black people look bad when he did. He made all of us look bad. I hear all those different statements coming from different directions. That ain't what I'm on right now. I'm not on the incident. I made a video about the incident. I gave my opinion. Some of my views have kind of shifted just a little bit. My bottom line foundational opinion about the whole thing is that it was a bad look. No matter what the construct of it was, it's a bad look. Shouldn't have happened. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm talking about the fact that they decide we're gonna ban you for 10. This morally righteous group of individuals known as the Academy have decided that we're gonna ban him. I'm gonna give it back. You can have a trophy too. I haven't had the trophy all these years. When did Will Smith's first movie come out? Had to be in the 90s. So Will Smith's been acting for 20 some years. 30, probably 30 years. Movies. I ain't talking about the Fresh Prince TV show and all that. So in 30 years, like I said earlier, that I can name 3 or 4 movies that I felt like he should have won it. Should have won it. 7 Pounds could have won it. Pursuit of Happiness should have won it. If we going by y'all's little academy. See, I'm so grateful that my mind is wired up the opposite way. I don't look at an Academy Award as some prestigious thing. I don't look at a Grammy Award like, wow. If any of my brothers and sisters win those kinds of awards, I'm happy for them because it makes them happy. Not because the award is so prestigious. Because if that's a goal that they set out to accomplish and they accomplished it through their hard work and they got it, I'm happy for them because of that. I'm not looking at them like, boy, you made it. You did it. You've been accepted. They love you now. Come on, man. VG Repairs, I appreciate the donation, man. Music with a message that changes, motivates minds. That's what we trying to make, man. Appreciate the love, VG. I'm still reading y'all's comments, man. Auto Chopper says, how many youngins do you think would support Will if he owned his own ceremony? Well, it shouldn't just be him. It should be a group of our brothers and sisters who are in that bracket, in that money bracket, in that influence bracket, in that expertise bracket, that pool their resources and put that thing together and making great films, independent films, and creating an award that reflects that effort. That would mean more to me. This just me. I ain't telling nobody else how to think, but that would mean more to me. See, think about in the NBA, right? When they always had these arguments every year over who should be the most valuable player in the NBA. Who's going to win the MVP? They've been talking about that all this year. They got about 5 guys that they're arguing about. But who votes for the MVP in the NBA? Who votes for that? It's the sports writers. And in most cases, sports writers who never played in the NBA, never played basketball, they just been around the game, been around for 25, 30, 40, 50 years. Bunch of old dudes writing about individuals who they may not even like. They like some, don't like some. So all these things factor into who they vote for. And now these are people who don't play the game. So you get the MVP, and it's like, okay, just glad to win this award and all these awards, right? But in my opinion, these awards would mean more. They would be more valuable to the most valuable player if the voting took place among his peers. If the voting was done by the people that he competes against. Why are the sports writers the main people who vote and decide who the MVP is? It should be the people that I face every night. See? They are more qualified to say, well, no, that dude is a problem. He was on another level this year. They more qualified. And it would mean more to the recipient of the award if that award came from their contemporaries, right? Same in music. If the other artists voted who should have got the Grammy this year or whatever the award is, it would mean more. I would think it would mean more. Because the man, I don't even like this dude, but I gotta vote for him because that album he dropped was amazing. So it's the same thing when you talk about building our own. When you're talking about building our own, it would mean more. But we've been programmed and conditioned to look down on our own. So if you come out with a clothing line, I'm not gonna support your clothing line. You went right down the little spot over there and you just bought up a bunch of shirts wholesale, and you got a little printer at home and you just printed your stuff on there. Nah, I'd rather go to such store and get the real. I'm gonna go get me some Ralph Lauren, some Polo, man. See, that's how we think. It's not authentic. See? So we look down on each other's stuff and we look up at theirs like it's the end all be all. We need something that invites new competition, not attack it. Dollar bill, y'all. Dollar bill, man. It was good to see you the other night at the show, man. Hope you enjoyed it. We should be thinking ahead of what these elites are about to do. Absolutely. But in order to think ahead, we have to be able to read. And I ain't talking about just read a newspaper, read a book, of course that. But you have to be able to read the situation. You got to be able to read the times, read the circumstances. See, you can read the circumstances and get a feel of how to handle the circumstances and get a feel of what needs to be done moving forward based on the circumstances. If we learn how to read like that. Corinne, y'all do me a favor. Y'all go watch the interview I conducted. Y'all see that name, Helping Hands, in the chat. I did an interview with Miss Yvonne Miles from Helping Hands Animal Rescue and Rehabilitation. How did I remember that? And the video is on my channel. Some of y'all have already watched it. Go watch that video and see all the great work that she does, not just with the animals, but just period, man. See, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, that our unity is more powerful than an atomic bomb. We come together, our unity is the enemy's biggest fear. That's what they fear more than anything. That's why they work so hard to keep us divided, because they know that our unity spells the end of their control over us. Because they've been able to rule and control us based on the manipulation of us through through disunity. And as long as they keep us worshiping them, we'll never focus on doing for ourselves and supporting ourselves. Oh man, I don't want to see that little low budget movie he made. I don't want to see that. Hey man, I made me a movie, man. I got my DVD, man. I don't want but $15 for it, man. It's an independent film. I did everything. I wrote it, I directed it, I filmed it myself, man. He supported me with $15. Man, I didn't even pay no $15. Go right to the movie theater and pay $15 or more. Buy some $9 popcorn, $5 Snickers, and a drink this big that costs $6. But your brother come along, he done put his time and effort in. He got a movie, he dropping some knowledge in the movie. It's a deep movie, make you think. You ain't trying to hear that. Hit the like button, man. Give me the 100 likes and I can get on out of here, man. I gotta go be a rapper tonight. Give me to 100 likes. We got 100 likes. We got 12 more likes in the chat. The link to the interview, if you talk about the interview, Last God King, the interview with Yvonne Miles, just it's on my channel. It's on this channel. Just type in Yvonne Miles, K-Rino, just K-Rino, Yvonne Miles. Just type that in, it'll come right up. I want y'all to go watch that video. Give me 5 more likes, man. Tabari Morris, dialogue with black filmmakers with Alex Haley. Rest in power. That's the link. Huh. Come on now. Details for funding strategy. How to invite the international community of musicians to apply for a chance to be one of. Is this a commercial? Appreciate the love, y'all. Yeah, go ahead, S-Mode 1990. Go ahead, my brother. Obama, your mama says at my theater the drink costs $11. And somebody else says 70% ice. Zawaji Muhammad. That's right, Yvonne Miles with a Y. Go watch that video right now, y'all, when I get off of here. Go watch it right now. I want everybody that's in here to go watch that interview with Yvonne Miles and your big brother, K. I ain't gonna say the rest. So to make a long story short, man, let's stop putting so much emphasis and so much weight into what they give us. Everything that they give you, and if you notice the pattern of history, everything that they give you, they take it away at some point. They give it to you, they lift you up, then they take it away and they tear you down. Every time. They loved Bill Cosby, tore him down. They loved Michael Jackson, they tore him down. It's a pattern. They loved Nick Cannon, they tore him down. The list goes on and on and on. I'm drawing blanks. And I don't got no hate or disrespect for none of those people that I named. Especially Michael Jackson, especially Nick Cannon, man. I love them dudes. Love Nick Cannon. Make no mistake about it. No, I love Mike. I love Bill Cosby because We're taught to dwell on the best part of the planet Earth, the best part of people, not to always focus on the negatives, because we can't walk around here acting like we just, oh, I am so holy. I never do anything wrong. I am so holy. That's how some of us walk around. And what I mean by that, we act like that soon as we see a scandal related to a celebrity or some politician or whatever, and you get on it. Oh man, see, and you start instantly condemning and criticizing and judging people. Stop doing that. Like your life, you got your life in order. OG Triple X finna go listen to that Iron Trap. You finna enter the Iron Trap. Stop being self-righteous, man. That's a bad quality for us to have, to always act like we're so much better than in our morals and our behavior than everybody else, knowing good and well that we ain't. At least I speak for myself. Holier than thou, to Allah I bow. That's right. So YG. Hey man, y'all be blessed, man. I gotta go do some rapping tonight, man. One love.